Welcome back to Living Local. Cranberries are not just for your Thanksgiving Day table. The nutritionally power-packed fruit is a healthy addition to many of your meals and snacks, or it can be. That's what we're going to talk about today. Joining us here in the studio in this segment, sponsored by Hyvee, is registered dietitian Katie Schaeffer. Katie, thanks for coming in again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about these cranberries. So, what are some ways that we can enjoy cranberries, I guess, besides, well, including the ways we normally do?
Yeah, so cranberries are super popular around the holiday season. It's because that's when they're in season. And we just find them in our typical dishes like cranberry sauce on the turkey. So that is one way that you can use it. It's really pretty simple to make if you want to make it on your own. Usually you just put it on the stove, you add a bit of sugar, you add some orange juice, and you just wait. And they kind of thicken up that way. So cranberry sauce is great on meat traditionally, but you can put it on other things too. So like if you make a preserve or jam, stuff like that. You can eat them raw. We actually just had Michaela eat one earlier. They are very tart, so a lot of people eat them raw and they're surprised because they aren't very sweet. They're much more tart, so they can be eaten raw, but honestly they're usually better kind of cut up in salsas, made with marinades, things like that. And then you can also drink them. So you're not going to get as much fiber from like a cranberry drink that I'll show in a little bit.
Sure.
But that is still a good way to get the antioxidants and the vitamins that cranberries have too.
Because we have some things where we have cranberries mixed in together over here, right?
Yes.
Like we've got our craisins here.
Yep, so those are typically what people associate cranberries with. And so I brought kind of the half sugar craisins because they put a lot of sugar in those bad boys. So when you have a real, or I shouldn't say real, a raw cranberry,
Just
you're like, what? This doesn't taste anything like it. So those are much sweeter, but those are great on top of salads and trail mixes, things like that. And then we have, kind of from the frozen section, it's just a cranberry sauce, and then we have it in the can. Those are pretty traditional around Thanksgiving. We've got some apple cranberry preserves, and then we have some different types of cranberry juice. So a lot of like cranberry juice or cranberry juice cocktail, it's mostly other juices or sugars because people usually like a sweeter juice. The one kind of that's in the glass jar is just cranberry, and so it's much more tart, but it's got a lot less added sugar to it. It doesn't have any added sugar to it.
Okay, so now as far as when you've got just cranberries and you're buying them, you're storing them, you're trying to prepare them, what should people know about if they don't, deal with cranberries very often? Sure.
So yeah, if you're used to buying either dried or frozen cranberries, this is the time of the year where you'll see them fresh in the produce section. They're going to be in the refrigerated section. I brought kind of the two options that we usually carry at Hyvee. You want to get ones that are hard to the touch. So if you're pinching them and they're giving, or if they're wrinkly, those ones are probably pretty old.
Little marbles.
Yep. Yeah, they are kind of like that, like a little sack of marbles. You want to make sure that they are deep in color. That is what gives cranberries their good antioxidants, their good vitamins, is that deep pigment. If they've got brown spots or they're white, stuff like that, those are ones that you want to avoid. And then when you take them home, they can actually stay in your fridge for up to 2 months. They last a long time.
Just in the fridge too, not like frozen.
Yep, they can be in the fridge because they are so hard, but if you notice them kind of getting shrivelly or browning, things like that, you either want to use them real quick or throw them out and get a new batch.
Now you mentioned briefly antioxidants and vitamins. What's actually healthy about cranberries? Why do we like them?
Yeah, so cranberries, any fruit that has that really dark pigment is going to be kind of a tall tale sign that it's got antioxidants in it. So like spinach, pomegranates, cranberries are typical for that. Those are basically like little warriors in your body kind of fighting off disease. They are really, really good in vitamin C, which is wonderful this time of year to kind of prevent any of the flu, ickiness, that kind of stuff. So they're just kind of a little powerhouse in that tiny body.
And you can make some drinks with them too. That's what we're going to do here. What is this?
This is just a cranberry spritzer. So we have, again, another one that is just that 100% cranberry juice. Cranberry is very tart, so you usually add something to it. So we've got some club soda here, and club soda doesn't have any added sugar. If you wanted to get mineral water or something like that that maybe does have a little bit more, you can just top it and gives it a little bit of fizz. And then every drink is cuter with a garnish. So we are going to add in, if I can get one individually out, a little rosemary sprig and a couple raw
they put some on. There we
fresh
go.
cranberries in there. And so if you are looking at this and you're like, my family likes to indulge in the adult beverage over Thanksgiving, you could absolutely add vodka to this. You could probably do gin, stuff like that. So
that is tart.
Yes.
It is very tart. Yeah.
Yep. But that is a good kind of drink for the holidays.
Awesome. Katie, before we go, for people who want to get the help of a Hyvee dietitian, I mean, what can they get from you guys just in general with things like cranberries or any part of their health?
Sure. So we have a lot of people calling this time of year just for different questions, for holidays, things like that. They're always welcome to do that. We have a website, it's Hyvee.com/health. There's a Hyvee Dietitians tab on there. We have all of our monthly classes, our discovery sessions, our tours, all the different kind of services that we offer. They can find them all on that landing page.
Awesome. Katie Schaeffer, Hyvee Dietitian. Thanks for joining us today, Katie.
Thank you.
Again, this segment sponsored, of course, by Hyvee. For more information, go to Hyvee.com. Like Katie mentioned, health section on that page is a good place to go. We'll also have these details on our website too at ourquadcities.com.